We got some news today on the Microsoft Activision front, and if you're an Xbox fan, it's probably not the news you wanted to hear. Although not an outright denial of allocation, it does not sound very good going forward, as the EU and the CMA have absolutely no freaking idea of the gaming industry or what's what, which is super unfortunate to say the least. And, I also have to say that I find this to be one of those things that is a little bit unfortunate because, Microsoft has fought hard to kind of go a certain way and to be competitive and to fight back and to be able to do things, and Sony has always done things whatever they wanted and nobody questions it, right? I mean, let's talk Call of Duty, but let's talk Bungie, who has also made a pretty big popular game with Destiny, and everybody's perfectly fine with that. But when it comes to the UK and Microsoft, they have all kinds of issues and are talking a bunch of BS. I want to get into it. Should be a good video. What's up, everybody? Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you for checking it out. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of these. Would be pretty awesome if you could do that, and I would be so appreciative, to say the least. Now, listen, I know I have small goals of the 100 likes or whatever, but, that's just kind of what I'm hoping to get. If not, if I can't get it, then I can't get it. But it is what it is, and I'll continue trying to do so. But with that being said, like I said, let's delve right into this. The UK's Competition and Markets Authority, or CMA, has published its provisional conclusion on Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard and proposed that Call of Duty be removed from the deal as one possible compromise. After a 5-month investigation, the UK regulator has provisionally found that the deal could reduce competition and result in higher prices, fewer choices, or less innovation for UK gamers, and it also believes that Call of Duty and other franchises will be important to the growth of cloud streaming, and that Microsoft could remove competition by making these games exclusive to its cloud offerings. But I want to point this out right now. In their regulatory finding, they said that if Microsoft had Call of Duty, it could really hamper those who can't afford to buy a console within streaming, right? So they're insinuating that you need a console to stream, which is absolutely ludicrous. That's the whole reason behind streaming, is that you don't need a console. And I don't think that they fully understand this, which is hilarious. So they clearly don't know what the hell they're talking about. And that's just the first part of an utterly ridiculous stance that they've taken. And, we got to get further into this because not only is it annoying, but it is hilariously bad. It means that regulators in both the US, European Union, and UK have now published objections to the deal, and the CMA has suggested that a partial divestiture Activision Blizzard would be a solution it would consider in order to approve the acquisition. It could mean selling off part of the business that deals with Call of Duty, selling off Activision segment of Activision Blizzard, selling off both the Activision and Blizzard segments. Their other given possible solution would be the prohibition of the merger altogether. The regulator states that Microsoft has informed it of its commitments to actually keep Call of Duty on rival platforms like PlayStation and Nintendo, and says it could potentially consider this kind of remedy, but that it would prefer a structural solution such as removing Activision from the deal altogether, as it requires less ongoing enforcement. Now, in addition, the regulators say it will continue any practical remedies that Microsoft or interested parties may propose that could be effective in addressing its concerns, and the CMA is now inviting responses from interested parties to its list of proposed remedies by February 22nd and responses by March 1st, and the final report is due by April 26th. As part of its investigation, the UK regulator said that it heard directly from business leaders at Microsoft. Activision analyzed over 3 million internal documents from the two businesses, commissioned an independent survey of UK gamers, and gathered evidence from a range of other gaming console providers, game publishers, and cloud service providers. In a statement to VGC, Microsoft Corporate Vice President and Deputy General Manager said, "We are committed to offering effective and easily enforceable solutions to address their concerns." Again, it really shows how out of touch like the CMA and all these companies are. And, I can only hope that we see some kind of overturning of this. To me, it just does not seem like this is something that is, realistically right. It seems wrong. You know what I mean? Just from a standpoint of looking out. 75% of respondents to the CMA's public consultation agree that the deal is good for competition. So why would they go against that 75%? Who knows? Reiterating that 100% equal access claim, Microsoft said, what does 100% mean? When we say equal, we mean equal. 10 years of parity on content, on pricing, on features, on quality, and on playability. So, you know, I think that that's very smart for them to be able to do that. And I hope that they continue to, you know, offer, you know, I think it makes sense for them to keep PlayStation on, you know, on the line. You know what I mean? You've got to keep PlayStation involved with this. As far as I'm concerned, you know, PlayStation being able to compete, PlayStation being able to have Call of Duty is a big deal. And I think that they need to be able to continue to do that. In the future, I think we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I do think that Microsoft is doing the right thing here and making sure that, you know, that they have full ability to, you know, play and game and things like that. Because I feel like that is important. And it never made sense not to do that. Right, that's the thing that I don't understand is that, you know, Sony is making this big ruckus, and the other thing is, it's so funny because it sounds to me 100% like the CMA here is basically saying, hey, you know what, you know, Sony is they're basically copying every Sony point and every single issue that Sony had. And going, hey, you know what? We're going to pass this along. Because it's almost everything. Raising prices. It could potentially do this. It could potentially do that. That's all stuff that Sony said. So did they forward the Sony complaints and go, okay, these are our problems? Meanwhile, about raising prices and competition and things like that, Sony literally raised prices on their console, on their games. Completely ridiculous to see what has happened. You know, to me, it's just unfathomable that it gotten this far. Activision Blizzard said in its own statement there are provisional findings, which means the CMA sets forth its concerns in writing and both parties have a chance to respond. We hope between now and April we'll be able to help the CMA better understand our industry to ensure that they can achieve their stated mandate to promote an environment where people can be confident they are getting great choices and fair deals, where competitive, fair dealing businesses can innovate and thrive, and where the whole UK economy can grow sustainably. In its provisional conclusion, the CMA claims that the merger would have a negative impact on both supply of cloud gaming services and the supply of consoles, which I don't understand that. It claims that buying Activision Blizzard, Microsoft would substantially reduce the competition that it would otherwise face in cloud gaming markets in the UK, and it says that evidence made available to it, including data on how Microsoft measures the value of customers in the ordinary course of business, suggests that Microsoft would find it commercially beneficial to make Activision games exclusive to its own consoles or only available on PlayStation under worse conditions. It states that Xbox and PlayStation compete closely with each other at present, and access to most important content like Call of Duty is an important part of that competition. Yet, no mention of it that Sony pays for exclusivity on exclusive content, betas, timed exclusive, all that kind of stuff. To me, just absolutely, I cannot believe the asinine amount of nonsense that we're seeing here. And, you know, I do hope that they kind of get swayed the other way because it shows how ignorant they are on the entire subject. So, yeah, you know, I hope that comes out there. But, again, you know, we'll see what happens. So let me know what you guys think. I'll link this. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer out.